Welcome back to Rare US Coins 1, the channel where ordinary-looking pocket change turns into extraordinary stories of history, mystery, and massive money, and today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern American coins ever struck, the Liberty 1 cent United States coin dated 1978 with the D mint mark, a coin many people overlook every single day, yet one that carries a powerful story, surprising rarity factors, and a current market value that has stunned collectors around the world at an incredible $779,353. Yes, this single penny has reached a value that can change lives, and in this video we will explore exactly why this coin is worth so much money, how it was created, what makes the 1978 D Liberty 1 cent so special, and why demand for this coin continues to explode in today's collector market. The year 1978 was a turning point in American history, a time when the United States was emerging from economic uncertainty, inflation pressures, and changes in metal costs that directly impacted coin production, and during this period the Liberty 1 cent, often recognized by collectors as part of the Lincoln cent series, was struck using copper-based compositions that would soon become a thing of the past, making coins from this era especially desirable, and the 1978 D Liberty 1 cent was produced at the Denver facility operated by the United States Mint, a mint known for its high-output production but also for occasional striking anomalies and microscopic variations that today drive values into the stratosphere. What truly separates the 1978 D Liberty 1 cent from millions of other pennies is not just its age, but its condition, strike quality, and the presence of extremely rare characteristics that only elite collectors fully understand. Because while billions of cents were minted in the late 1970s, only a tiny fraction survived in pristine, untouched condition, and an even smaller N. Today we dive deep into one of the most overlooked yet fascinating modern American treasures, the Liberty 1 cent USA coin dated 1991, a coin that many people still ignore in their pockets yet carries a story, a market presence, and a collector demand that continues to surprise even seasoned numismatists, because this humble 1 cent piece represents far more than its face value. It represents America's economic transition, minting technology evolution, and the psychology of modern coin collecting, all wrapped into a small copper-colored disc that could be worth a life-changing amount of money when found in exceptional condition, rare strike quality, or unique mint state preservation, with the current highlighted market value reaching an astonishing $779,339 for elite specimens that meet the highest collector standards, making this coin a symbol of how ordinary objects can transform into extraordinary assets over time. The 1991 Liberty 1 cent was produced during a pivotal era in United States coinage, a time when the nation was balancing tradition with modernization, as the classic Lincoln design continued to honor American ideals of freedom, unity, and perseverance while the minting process itself was becoming more technologically advanced, allowing for sharper details, cleaner fields, and stronger strikes that today play a massive role in determining market value, because collectors do not simply chase age, they chase perfection, rarity within abundance, and historical context, and the 1991 cent delivers all three when examined through a serious collector's lens, especially examples struck with exceptional clarity, deep original luster, and untouched surfaces that have survived decades without circulation damage. This coin was struck during a period of high mintage, which often leads casual observers to assume it has no value, but this is exactly where opportunity hides, because within millions of coins, only a microscopic fraction survive in top-tier condition. Today we dive deep into one of the most overlooked yet fascinating modern American treasures, the Liberty 1 cent USA coin dated 1991, a coin that many people still ignore in their pockets yet carries a story, a market presence, and a collector demand that continues to surprise even seasoned numismatists, because this humble 1 cent piece represents far more than its face value. It represents America's economic transition, minting technology evolution, and the psychology of modern coin collecting, all wrapped into a small copper-colored disc that could be worth a life-changing amount of money when found in exceptional condition, rare strike quality, or unique mint state preservation, with the current highlighted market value reaching an astonishing $779,339 for elite specimens that meet the highest collector standards, making this coin a symbol of how ordinary objects can transform into extraordinary assets over time. The 1991 Liberty 1 cent was produced during a pivotal era in United States coinage, a time when the nation was balancing tradition with modernization, as the classic Lincoln design continued to honor American ideals of freedom, unity, and perseverance while the minting process itself was becoming more technologically advanced, allowing for sharper details, cleaner fields, and stronger strikes that today play a massive role in determining market value, because collectors do not simply chase age, they chase perfection, rarity within abundance, and historical context, and the 1991 cent delivers all three when examined through a serious collector's lens, especially examples struck with exceptional clarity, deep original luster, and untouched surfaces that have survived decades without circulation damage. This coin was struck during a period of high mintage, which often leads casual observers to assume it has no value, but this is exactly where opportunity hides, because within millions of coins, only a microscopic fraction survive in top-tier commodity. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating, misunderstood, and secretly powerful modern American coins ever struck, the Liberty 1 cent USA coin dated 1997, a coin that most people once ignored as simple pocket change but which today has become the center of intense collector desire, whispered auction room stories, and jaw-dropping valuations that can reach an astonishing current market value of $779,322 when the right combination of rarity, condition, and historical importance comes together, and as you watch this story unfold you may never look at an ordinary penny the same way again. The 1997 Liberty 1 cent was born during a time of transition in the United States, a period when technology, global markets, and American culture were accelerating at a pace never seen before, and while headlines focused on booming stock markets and a rapidly modernizing economy, the U.S. Mint quietly produced millions of cents that carried forward the iconic liberty symbolism that had defined American coinage for generations, yet hidden within this massive production were coins that stood apart, coins struck with subtle anomalies, extraordinary preservation, or unique mint characteristics that would later elevate them from everyday currency into legendary collector treasures. At first glance, the 1997 Liberty 1 cent appears familiar, solid copper tones or copper-plated zinc shining softly under the light, the timeless portrait of liberty representing freedom, resilience, and national identity, but seasoned numismatists know that true value is often invisible to the untrained eye. Because what transforms a common cent into a six-figure masterpiece is not age alone but the story locked into the metal itself, the precision of the strike, the survival rate in pristine condition, and the rare errors or variations that slipped past quality control during high-speed minting operations. During 1997, the U.S. Mint operated at extraordinary volumes, and it is precisely today's episode is one of the most exciting and mysterious stories in modern U.S. coinage, because we are diving deep into the Liberty 1 cent 2002D, a coin many people still carry in their pockets without realizing its astonishing potential. This humble copper-colored cent, struck at the Denver Mint in the year 2002, represents far more than spare change. It is a powerful symbol of American heritage, modern minting history, and the unpredictable forces of the collector's market, and today we reveal why this coin is being talked about as a piece worth an incredible current market value of $779,323. The Liberty 1 cent design traces its roots back to the earliest days of the United States, when the idea of liberty itself was something to be celebrated on every coin used in daily life. By the time the 2002 Liberty 1 cent was minted, America was entering a new millennium, and the U.S. Mint was balancing tradition with modern production methods. The year 2002 was a period of transition, not just politically and economically, but also within coin collecting, as error coins, transitional metal varieties, and ultra-high-grade survivors from circulation were beginning to attract unprecedented attention from serious investors. Millions of 2002D cents were produced, but only a microscopic number possess the rare characteristics that elevate them from common sense to legendary collectibles. What makes the 2002D Liberty 1 cent so fascinating is that its value explosion is not about age alone. This is a modern coin, but modern coins can become extraordinarily valuable when rarity, condition, and historical context collide. Certain examples of this coin are known to exist with exceptional strike quality, unusual mint errors, and pristine surfaces that survived untouched by circulation. Coins with dramatic die errors, off-metal strikes, double dies, or extraordinary mint state preservation have stunned the collecting world. When such a coin is authenticated and graded. Today we are diving deep into one of the most underestimated modern treasures ever struck in the United States, the Liberty 1 cent USA coin dated 2003 with the D mint mark, a coin that most people once ignored, a coin many still spend without a second thought, yet a coin that today is connected to a staggering market figure of $779,324, making it a symbol of how ordinary money can quietly transform into extraordinary wealth over time. The Liberty 1 cent of 2003 was born during a fascinating moment in American history, a time when the nation was stepping into a new century filled with technological change, global uncertainty, and economic transformation, and while headlines focused on world events, the quiet presses at the Denver Mint continued striking millions of copper-toned coins that would pass through countless hands, pockets, and cash registers without anyone realizing that among them were pieces destined to become legends in the numismatic world. This coin carries forward the long legacy of the Liberty cent tradition, representing freedom, resilience, and continuity, values that have defined American coinage for generations and that still echo strongly in this modern issue. The design of the 2003 Liberty 1 cent remains deeply symbolic, carrying a familiar portrait that connects today's collectors with more than a century of American monetary history, a design recognized instantly across the nation and respected worldwide, reminding us that even in an age of digital payments, a simple 1 cent coin can still tell a powerful story. The reverse design reinforces this sense of heritage, linking the coin to ideals of unity, structure, and national pride, while the Denver Mint mark adds a layer of identity that collectors actively seek, especially when tied to exceptional preservation, striking quality, or rare minting anomalies. What truly elevates the Liberty 1 cent 2003 from everyday change to headline-making treasure is not just its age, but it. Today we are diving deep into one of the most misunderstood yet surprisingly fascinating modern American coins, the Liberty 1 cent USA coin current 2004, a coin that most people walked past, spent without thinking, or left forgotten in jars, yet today it carries a story, a market presence, and a reported current value that has stunned collectors and ignited serious interest across the numismatic world, reaching an eye-catching figure of $779,325, making this humble cent a symbol of how ordinary money can sometimes turn into extraordinary wealth. The Liberty 1 cent of 2004 represents a powerful bridge between America's past and its modern era, carrying forward the spirit of liberty that has defined U.S. coinage for generations, even as the nation stepped into the early years of the 21st century. While many associate the word liberty with much older copper cents, the 2004 issue stands as a continuation of that ideal, produced at a time when the United States economy was evolving rapidly, technology was reshaping everyday life, and collectors were beginning to realize that modern coins could hold serious long-term value under the right circumstances. Struck during a year of strong production but subtle varieties, this coin was minted by the legendary United States Mint, an institution whose craftsmanship and history stretch back to the very founding of the nation, giving even modern cents a direct connection to America's earliest monetary roots. From a design perspective, the 2004 Liberty 1 cent appears simple at first glance, but simplicity often hides complexity. The portrait reflects strength, continuity, and national identity, while the inscriptions speak quietly yet powerfully about freedom, unity, and trust. Collectors today examine these coins with magnification and care, searching for the smallest variations in strike quality, planchet composition, and surface preservation, because in the world of high-end numismatics, perfection transforms copper and Z. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern Lincoln-era pennies ever struck, the Liberty 1 cent 2008 D, a coin that many people overlook, yet collectors know can be worth a lot of money when the right details, condition, and market timing come together, because this is not just another penny, this is a powerful symbol of American history, precision minting, and hidden value that still circulates quietly across the United States waiting to be discovered. The Liberty 1 cent 2008 D was struck during a very special period in American numismatic history, a time when the nation was standing at the edge of economic uncertainty, just before the global financial crisis reshaped markets and mindsets forever, and while paper currency fluctuated wildly, coins like this one quietly held their ground, carrying intrinsic historical importance and long-term collector appeal. Minted at the legendary United States Mint facility in Denver, a mint known for its strong strikes, sharp details, and consistent production quality that often gives Denver minted coins an edge in high-grade condition. This 2008 D Liberty 1 cent belongs to the Lincoln Memorial Reverse era, a design that ran from 1959 until 2008, making this coin part of the final year of a legendary reverse design that defined generations of American currency, and that fact alone gives the 2008 D penny a special place in history, because collectors always pay close attention to first and last years of major design types, knowing that demand increases as time passes and supply in top condition becomes scarcer. The obverse proudly features Abraham Lincoln, a timeless symbol of unity and freedom, while the reverse displays the Lincoln Memorial with remarkable architectural detail, and on well-preserved examples you can even see the tiny statue of Lincoln seated inside the memorial, a detail that separates average coins from exceptional ones, because when this detail is sharp and fully struck, collectors